Here to bless the stage with us tonight is Mr. Lemoyne Alexander. How are you doing tonight? Happy
I'm doing okay.
holidays.
Fridays is my favorite day, so
Oh yeah, Friday.
yeah, I'm doing good today.
That's good. That's good. So, how are you feeling? Welcome back. It's been a while since you've been in Chicago.
Yes, it has been.
Okay.
It's been a while. I mean, I have family here, but I live in Texas,
What part of Texas?
about an hour away from Houston.
Okay, I was thinking about going to Arlington, moving to the Arlington
Really?
area. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
wanted to move like to Fort Worth.
I'm going to Austin at some point, but
Okay.
yeah, that was my intentions in the beginning.
Yeah, but I heard Houston not bad.
Houston is nice.
Yeah.
They just put me in the newspapers in Houston.
Okay, so what was the celebratory newspaper? What were you doing in Houston?
Basically because they found out I was recording this album, the Insecurity album,
Okay.
and they welcomed me.
Yeah, as they should have. As they should have. So I actually seen that Insecurities is now something that you've been promoting heavily.
Yeah.
When did it first come out?
September 13th.
Okay. All
Came
right.
out September 13th. I'm amazed at the results. I'm like shocked because tons of people really like this song.
Didn't it just hit over like 100,000?
100,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
But the TikTok was 2.3 million.
Oh, check
Yeah.
you out. You got TikTok 2.3. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there, y'all.
People all over the world just making like their own personal short videos with the song.
I've been seeing that.
Yeah, it's
I've been
crazy.
seeing that. Don't be surprised if you see I make my own insecurity
There you
clip.
go. Yeah.
So, like with that, was that from personal insecurities? How did you come with the
Yeah,
inspiration
it was
for
personal. It was I was in the middle of a divorce,
that? Okay.
and the divorce took me to some things and places I've never been through before. And during the divorce, I just lost myself. And then I gave myself some time to heal.
Okay.
And as I was working on the album, that song popped up. And basically because I went out on a couple of dates and I just was not ready. And the girls, the women that I dated, they was like, "You're not putting any energy into this." And I was like, "I can't do it. I'm sorry. What are you asking me to do? I can't do." And so from that experience, I was like, I got to make a song about it. So I wrote a song about it, and it was for me to heal. But I got with the new company, Wicked Entertainment, and the first thing management and everybody was saying is we need to put that song out
Yeah.
for the world to hear.
Yes.
And I said, okay, cool. And I had no idea it was going to be like this, but it surprised me. That's one of my biggest songs, me personally, as a recording artist. Insecurity is one of my biggest.
And is that because you really do you feel like you maybe put more vulnerability on the paper at that point?
Yes. A lot of vulnerability. And like Bad For You and some of my other earlier songs were personal too, but this one was really deep. It was more personal to me,
Okay.
and it touched me. So I'm assuming it touched everybody else
No,
too.
not assuming. Obviously, it's 2.3 million people you said on TikTok that
Yeah.
is touched, so
Yeah.
let's add more to that. But as far as when I was listening to that, I hear like that definitely the alternative rock
Yes.
vibe. So how did you actually get into that genre of music?
I get this all the time.
I know you do.
I get
You
this
have
all the
to.
time.
You have to. As a black man, I'm sorry to say it like that, but
I get that
you
all
have
the time.
to.
So I started off in Chicago doing house music. From house music, I ended up becoming a rap producer.
Okay.
And I didn't know where I was going, but I enjoy just making beats, and then it went from actually making songs and writing songs and developing artists. And I did a lot of great recording artists from Chicago. And some of the personal journeys I had with rap took me to some really strange, crazy, death-defying corners.
With rap itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I lost a lot of people, a lot of friends. you know, and I almost lost my own life a couple
Oh,
of
wow.
times in this. So, and then one day I decided I can't do it no more, and I walked away. And I was in the last rap project I did was Gone by Too Short, Jazzy Faye, and Chew.
Okay.
And it was a huge record, and I ended up doing the whole album. And during the process of making that album, I was developing my band, which is called State of Grace, what we talked about earlier.
Yes.
And I was mentoring this young man, and he came from Indianapolis to work on the album with the song "Gone" on it, with Too Short and all of
Yeah.
the rap artists. I think we had everybody on that album. Saint Lunatics, everybody was on that album.
Oh, yeah, I definitely remember St. Louis.
Yeah, and I was working with the band. We was working out our songs, set lists, and everything, just practicing most of the time. And he came into town, and he was like, "Yo, man, I'm in town," you know. And I said, "Oh man, where you at?" He said, "It's at the studio." And I was like, all right, give me a minute. Let me finish up with the guys. And he said, no, don't worry about it. Just come in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you sure? And he was like, yeah, just come in the morning. So I finished up with the guys around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I called him to check on him.
Right.
And he was like, I'm good. I'll see you in the morning. So my intention was to get there around 9. And I woke up around by 8:30, between 8, 8:30. And I called the studio and said, I'm on my way. And man, got the worst call in my life. I mean, well, the worst conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy told me, he said, man, he can't come to the phone. I said, put Goldfinger on the phone, man. Put him on the phone. And they told me he was dead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you had just met with him, you just with them, just breaking bread with them and everything.
Yeah. He came into town to work with me on the finishing of the album. He had like we was adding one more song on the album, and it was his song. And I pretty much mentored him through production and everything. And when I found out he had died,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I need to know how. And I jumped into the car and rolled to the studio. Feds was out there. Everybody was out there. They wouldn't let me in at all. I just broke down, you know, because I felt like it was my fault.
Okay.
So, and then there was, don't blame yourself, you know. It could have been you in there.
Exactly.
You know, I could have died too.
Exactly.
And then, you know, I walked away from rap forever.
Mm.
That was it for me. I was like, I'm going back to rock. And that was the start of it. And the first song that I wrote was called Life Goes On with State of Grace.
All right.
And that record blew up huge, you know. And just in the back of my mind was that situation. I couldn't get it out of my head for a long time, but, you know, I kept getting phone calls from around the world. Yo, we want you to produce this record, this. And it's a funny thing, I got a phone call from Big Mike
Mm-hmm.
to do a record, and I turned him down. And the powers that be called me up and asked me to do this is when Jay-Z and Beyonce got together
Mm-hmm.
to program and make a beat for a song that they was working on for his album, and I turned that down too.
That's deep when you say the powers that be. We're not gonna get too deep into that conversation.
Yeah, I was like, I'm done. You couldn't pay me $1 million to do a rap song.
And do you feel like not only outside of that tragic, experience that you had to go through, but do you feel like there's a spirit on that type of
Yeah,
music?
yeah. It's okay. I'm not saying all rap music is bad.
Right.
All I'm saying is we popularize the negative side of rap more than we do the positive.
Mm-hmm.
And since we've been doing that for years, that's why we have all these deaths
Right.
and casualties, because they popularize death.
Mm-hmm.
So we, and what better way to get kids to listen, powers to be, again, causes all of this to happen,
Yeah. By
where
design.
people patternize and they follow the trends. They see what they see and they want to be a part of it.
Mm.
So that's why we got so many casualties and people dying. The best rap for me was conscious rap. I don't know if y'all remember those days, like X-Clan and
More lyricists,
Public,
like real,
Public
yeah.
Enemy and Common and, good stuff like that you can really learn from.
Okay.
It just faded, you know. Now we got so much death in rap that even when I got out of it, it just spiraled out. I'm seeing it on the news and, what's those dudes, the Migos?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody's dying. Just, I was like,
That's Pete
I'm done.
Takeoff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that being the case, where do you see, what do you think a struggle is going to be when it comes to like the alternative rock and the rap genres? Like, how do you get the alternative rock to be more positively influential?
With songs like Insecurity, positive songs people can learn from, people can identify with. When I did Insecurity, it was a song that everybody can identify with.
Yes.
Now, it was a basic, to me, it's a basic rock song. It has no, nothing special about it, but the actual storytelling, the message
Yes.
is what everybody got out of it.
And yeah, and it's so many different clips and so many different verses and parts of it that everybody out here can really take from, because we all constantly deal with
Insecurities, exactly. We all have them. I don't care who you are. We all have insecurities.
Yeah.
And people identify with them enough. I made a lot of people with that song not be afraid of sharing their insecurities.
Right.
And through my song. And I was really surprised by that, People with all kinds of like body problems and mental issues and all kinds of things. I was like, wow, I'm surprised,
Out of that song, in your own opinion, what's the most like impactful like verse you think, or like bar? I would say bar in the rap world, but do you think that people
That's a good
gravitate to?
question. Yeah, the first verse mostly. I'm like the first verse. When I write a song where when you hear it, you into it in the first minute.
Yes.
That's how songs should be written. You should not wait until to get to the ending for people to get your story. Start on it right away.
Right, 10 seconds these days. You got to get it in 10 seconds for this.
10 seconds,
This market
first
these
minute,
days.
man. You want to captivate their mind as soon as they get into the songs. And there are a lot of artists that know how to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, like for me, I had to learn, as I grew as a writer, how to actually, what am I going to say?
Mm-hmm.
I got to identify with what the world is dealing with, and a lot of people will tell me, well, the best way to do it is identify with you in your own personal struggles and your own personal problems.
Okay.
Because, and I was like, you're right. I have these issues or whatever, and I just make a song out of my own personal issues. Or I see someone or know someone who has a problem, and they'll talk to me about it. And I said, man, that makes a great song, easy. And
So
I can share it.
I'm sorry to cut you
That's
off.
all right.
Yeah. So in the creative process and that creative writing process, how do you normally start it off? Do you start off like maybe a riff for your guitar?
That's
or
funny.
Like
You just said it.
You do?
Yeah.
Really?
Every song that I do, I'm playing. This is the weirdest thing because a lot of my songs are riff driven.
Okay.
And I'll come up with a song in the middle of the night, 4:00 in the morning, 2:00 in the morning, and then I have a riff in my head, and my phone is always next to me, and I'll pick it up and sing the riff into the guitar. Into my phone.
Okay.
And then when I wake up, I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I can hear it. Okay, I hear it. Then I go in there and I play it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I lay it down to a four count, click, click, click. And I lay the guitar part down and I keep looping it. And then when I come up with something else, I do the same thing again. And I add it all together. Once I get all of the whole riffs down, then I learn it and play it straight through.
Okay.
And then I build the song all the way around her.
So it's always with a riff.
It's always. I don't think I ever wrote a song without a riff.
Okay.
Yeah, always. Now, the difference between rock and rap
Yes.
was I had developed my own style from most producers that were coming up when I was coming up, and I touched on orchestral drums and the big booms and the timpani drums and the big horns and I mixed it up with the 808s and the 909s and then on top of it I'll layer some guitars on it because somehow I got to have some guitars in
You
there.
have to have that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sexy.
And that's what made me different than most producers, and that's why most of the guys would come to me because it was mostly organic music. They didn't get nobody got tracks from me didn't get loops. They got real music from me.
All right. And so saying that, so is a guitar your like favorite instrument? Was that your number one instrument?
Yeah, I taught myself to play 27 instruments.
Okay.
27.
So give me your first. Okay, so guitar. We know that's the riff runner. We have the riff runner, but give me 2 and 3.
Bass,
Okay.
guitar, piano, all the percussions.
Okay.
Any percussion I can play. And I learned that from my dad because he was a percussionist and a drummer. And I watched my brother play drums and, I watch him and I learned from what he was doing. And then I got to the point where I was picking up what he was doing and I could actually write a song for the whole band.
Okay.
So, and then that just turned into like finger cymbals, congos, timpani drums and, the percussions and anything. I was able to add all of that in the first 2 albums that I did. Every instrument I played.
Okay. That is amazing. 26.
27.
27. Let me be
total.
correct. 27.
In total.
Let me get that right, y'all.
27 instruments.
Dare not mess that up. I was like, no. So what would be some of your advice to some of the younger people that want to get into like alternative rock, even music wise or producing wise?
Well, I mean, if you believe in yourself and you think you can do it, then don't stop. Keep doing it until you don't listen to nobody. Just follow your own heart and follow your passion for what you believe in.
Okay.
You just keep going at it. You're going to have some problems along the way, and a lot of people just when they get to those end of the roads, what they think is the end of the road, they give up.
Right.
Me, I never gave up.
Never.
I had so many negative things happen to me in my entire career, and I just never gave up.
So when you get to those, like I would just say like maybe a creative block, what are some of your ways to get over those?
Oh, that's a good question.
I got a couple good questions, y'all.
Yeah, nobody's ever asked me. Yeah, well, I mean, there's plenty of those, like droughts, I call them.
Okay.
And it's time for me to leave. I'll leave the studio, leave everything, go with family, or go do something by myself, or just do something different. Like I had a real what do you call it? Songwriter's block.
Mm-hmm.
I just went off and did a movie. It took me about 8 months, and I did a whole movie. I wrote it, produced it, directed it, shot it, and auditioned the actors, and that whole course took maybe about 5 to 6, 7 months.
Is that the Just Gone?
No.
Is that what that one took?
It's a couple of movies. A movie called Laundromat, and I just finished one called it's called Chosen.
Okay.
They're horror movies. I like horror movies.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did the music too. I do the music to all of my films, and as time go and I run into these like walls, then I have to step away from music for a little bit. Then I come back to it and it sounds refreshing, and it becomes refreshing. Then I can create. I can make a song literally in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, 15 minutes. It's done deal. With the riff,
Yeah, I was just about to
drums,
say with your
music,
riff, right?
everything. So, yeah.
Okay. So right now, what do you prefer? It sounds to me like you prefer being like more creative, making music.
Yeah. Because even when I retire from being an artist, I'm still gonna make music.
Okay.
You know, I like doing soundtracks for films. As you know, no one knew that I was the guy behind the music of Oprah Winfrey Show for 15 years.
Really?
Yeah, I did all of the
We didn't
commercial when
know.
she go to breaks, all the house music and dance and sad shit and all that. You know, I did it all, it propelled to her other shows like the Master Class, and Yale,
Okay. Yeah. Fix My Life.
the Doctors, um, all of them. You know, I started writing songs for everybody, and I did the theme song for The View,
Okay.
and I did the theme song for the Steve Harvey Show, but there was a huge problem with that. But you know, and I also did the theme song from the I don't know if everybody knew this, but the Illinois female basketball team
The
here,
Sky.
yeah, I
Okay.
did their theme song.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh
sure
no,
did. Yeah, I did that too.
no.
So you know, it was fun. You know, working with Parker Lee was one of my best friends,
Okay.
and he got a shout out to him, man. I miss
Shout
him
out
a
Parker
lot,
Lee. Yeah.
and he the one that brought me on because I had did Dougie Fresh. I did a whole lot of rappers in New York, and he knew Dougie, and he knew Cass and all these guys, and we just gelled from that day on. He's like, you got to come on the show, and he was a producer of Oprah,
Okay.
and he's like, I mean, you got to come in, and he brought me in, and I've been there ever since. 15 years I did it,
Wow.
and then he died. So when he passed, I walked away from it. I
Did
didn't
you?
want to do it no more. Yeah.
It's like you walk away from things that you love when people pass away. I'm sorry.
I'm done.
I'm done.
I can't do it no more. You know, I have these like, you know, like, have you ever been in something for so long and the person that bring you into it or you build something and then they're gone.
Yeah.
You don't
feel the same. It's not that same
yeah, you just
connection
don't have
anymore.
it.
It's like getting a workout partner. You committed to and they don't
Can't
show
do
up
it.
anymore.
Exactly.
Gaining weight
Same
again.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't do it, you know.
Speaking of that partnership and like, you know, that change up when things do happen, what was one of your biggest challenges coming from behind the scenes to now being on the front scene as a performer?
That's another one. Good question.
Come on, wait, come on.
The funny thing about that, and I'll answer this as close as I can.
Okay. I
was always in the background, always during the process of making records with all of these big artists that I had the opportunity and the blessing to work with. And I would watch them and I go, wow, you know, we're done. We finished the record and it's done. And you don't see these people no more.
Right.
You know, you may bump into them every now and then, but you know, you don't see them no more. And you see the issues they go through before they even get to the record to come out.
Yeah.
And I said, no, man, I never want to be no artist. I kept saying that. And when I walked away from rap, and I kept saying we need a new format of music because music, and I kept telling everybody rap is going to die one day. It's just going to everything is just going to come down crashing.
Okay.
And nobody didn't believe me, and it did. It did. And I was like, we need some new music. We need something new to grasp a hold onto. And everybody, for some reason, looked at me really weird when I said I wanted to go into rock. And it's like, dude.
Yeah, you know, just wondering.
Everybody looking at me like,
you know, that idea.
You're a black dude. How you gonna sing rock?
I was thinking it too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I was like, you'll see. I kept telling everybody, you'll see. So I went in the studio and I cut everything, and I knew wasn't nobody gonna back me up. So I played all the instruments myself.
Okay.
Couldn't get a band together to save my life. So I was like, fuck it, I learned everything and just played it myself.
Okay.
So once it was
That's
done,
dope. That's dope.
everybody listened to it. And at the time, I was working with another initial rock band that was getting ready to come out. And excuse me, the bass player was like, they were threatening him. And I had just had a talk with the band. We were getting ready to come up with an idea, which is ironic. We were just talking about Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee was actually recording a song with them
Okay.
for me. And you could get with this, you could get with that. We turned it into a rock song for this band, and Lee killed it. He played everything. So I took the track to them, and I said, okay, well, this is the song we're going to cut. And they were like, yeah. But they didn't want the bass player. So they kicked the best bass player out, and I liked the bass player. So the bass player came to me and was like, hey, man, they are full of shit. They talking about you. And I was like, I don't give a shit what they say about me. What I'm concerned about is you. I know you can play. I mean, you got a little rough around the edges, but why don't you come with me? And
Right.
he came with me. I stopped working with the other band. We formed our own band, and that's how we came up with State of Grace.
Okay.
And he went and got another guitar player, and I went and got my brother. And it was 2 black guys and 2 white guys. Nobody never did that in the band.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have an interracial rock band. And we did like 3 or 4 songs. And when you hear them, you go, that sounds like a straight up white boy rock band. So the record came out, which was Life Goes On. And there's a syndicated radio station, which you see if you go to YouTube, they played it. And the best part about it was we was able to capture it and put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
They listened to it, and they was like, you guys are really good. We got you on heavy rotation. Didn't even know it. The song blew up really big. But he thought that I was a white guy.
Okay.
They assumed that we were they assumed that we were
A white
band. So we had to send the pictures in. We sent the pictures in.
Sorry, it sounded like some Fly Heartbeat stuff. Sorry.
And you could tell, you could actually feel them like, the fuck? Yeah. And then so he didn't have no problem with asking me, like, he just wanted to know, was I black or white? And I told him, yeah, I'm black, man. That's you singing that fucking song?
Right.
I was like, yeah. It's like, oh, wow. And then they proceeded to play in the record even more. And our fan base grew because we were an interracial rock band.
Okay.
So I was on to something and didn't even know it, but it progressed into it started to grow, snowball. And then the guys in the bands, everybody started acting funny and weird. We had 2 of them left. Then we had to regroup again. We started on the second record, which is the record he likes. The record, I had the opportunity to work with Queen, the actual band Queen.
The band group. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry.
They pretty much let us take one of their songs and redo it. And I had to sing Freddie Mercury. It was the scariest thing I ever did, because I'm actually singing a Freddie Mercury record, and this dude is bigger than life.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I didn't want to do it. And they challenged me, and they kept telling me, you need to do it. I had no idea when I did the record that record was going to be as big. That's our biggest record till this day.
Now, did you record that here in the States, or were you
out
out
the
the country?
Right here. No, I did it in Milwaukee in my daughter's basement.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had just broke up with my girl at the time, and I ended up taking all my equipment over there, and the album was finished. And they was like, dude, we need one more song for the album. And I was like, okay, the Queen record. So I went back to listen to it. I said, I could do it. And I took the old record they had, and I added new stuff. I played live, the claps. I put more guitars and bass.
Okay.
And then I took Freddie's vocals out, and I re-sang his part. And
there you have it.
It's a classic to this day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to add with that classic, what are you currently working on now? So we already know insecurities is blowing up. 2.3 people,
On
2.3
TikTok.
million TikTok. Let me get it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my video as well. But outside, what else is going on with you?
Um, I'm doing the album. That was the purpose of me going to Texas. I wanted to get away from everybody and isolate myself
Okay.
to do this album, and I did that. I've been in Texas almost a year now. Next month it'd be a whole year,
Okay.
and I went through many of songs trying to finish this album, and I'm 2 songs short of finishing it before it comes out in March.
All right.
And this has been the most challenging album I've ever worked on. But with the help of that man
Shout out to
and
Sleep.
and and Charles Swift,
They
we
sleep.
they backed me up.
Yeah.
They believed in me and they backed me up. And the best part about it is, because I come from, my background is not what they're doing today.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is social media, and
That's what I was gonna ask you.
I'm not from that era.
Right.
And
Understandably.
I'm from the old school,
Yeah.
we radio, promotions, marketing budgets, and everything, studio budgets, the whole nine. I come from that era. I don't know what the hell's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like starting all over again. And Sleepy and Swift, they have to teach me all over again. And I just stay in my lane. It's just, just making music and everything. But it's a process,
It is.
and they get on me all the time, like you need to be more
Posting
social,
more.
post more. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about all that
You have
shit.
to promote your brand. What's your
You
brand?
just asked me earlier, what's the difference between being a producer and an artist?
Yeah.
I hate being an artist. The fuck, man. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm used to being in the background, and you
Exactly.
can't be in the background now.
Right.
You got to sing, you got to do this, you got to do that. Oh my God, 4:00 in the morning, doing interviews, radio,
Yeah.
all the way. And this guy had me we was doing like back-to-back interviews. And, I was like, wow, I see what it's like,
Yeah.
what an artist goes through.
You have to get yourself out there. You have to generate a buzz.
Yeah. And that buzz is going to take a lot of work.
Yeah.
No matter who you are. Even though Michael Jackson came out and his Invincible album,
Mm-hmm.
was a struggle for him. Now, we all know him as the king of pop.
Yeah,
but
very creative. Yes, rest in peace.
You still have to market. You still have to promote. And when they did not promote and market that record, he was livid because his whole everything dropped.
Yeah.
And people didn't even know about that album. And he was ready to work, but he couldn't work because he didn't have any way to work because they didn't promote the record.
Right.
So, and as I know in the business, you have to promote and market your product.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Sleepy was just going over all of that.
Yes.
Marketing and the product is itself branding. And branding your name. Actually,
people.
Exactly.
Branding. This is what we're doing. 67 Social branding. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And it's the truth. It's the
Exactly.
truth. Branding is important. It's just like a product, whatever it is. If you're an artist, it's the same as buying something. You have to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And I realized that, so I just go with the flow with these guys. I go with what encourages me more is my fans.
Okay.
When I know I'm doing something right and I get the feedback from them, it encourages me. I get up, you got to do this, you got to do that. All right, let's go. Whatever I got to do. I don't care how tired I am or sleepy or whatever. I just do it.
So what can you say has been so far? You're well on your way now.
Yeah.
What has been one of your greatest experiences coming from behind the scenes on the front scenes right now?
Coming from behind?
Yeah.
My greatest experience.
Yeah, like you've been live performing and things like that.
That's my ultimate goal.
Okay.
What satisfies me and keeps me motivated and keeps me going is no matter how I could be upset, angry, sick, tired, whatever. When I get on that stage, it's like the Holy Ghost comes in me.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and I forget about everything and everybody. All I want to do is entertain.
All right.
And they're looking at me, and that's the scary. Sometimes it can be the scariest thing in the world because I'm the one person. All these people are just tuned into you.
Yeah.
So they're watching your words, they're watching your
Body
movement,
language.
everything. So and I had to channel that. It started off with me when I started performing. My brothers in them used to say, "Man, turn around, turn around."
Okay.
I'll be like, "No, I don't want to turn around." And then it got good to me when I started seeing the reaction people got from my performance.
Yes.
Then I start feeling like, okay, I could do this. I could be better at it and keep going and progressing into a real showman and an artist.
Okay.
And that's the best part because I can identify with people. I can see one person. Sometimes I used to do that. I would sing to one person in the artist.
Really?
I tune into that one person. And there's a million people out there, and I'm tuned into that person.
Okay.
And just so I don't want to see the rest of the
Right.
people and get nervous,
Tunnel vision.
Yeah. Be like
Tunnel
right
vision
there,
on this.
and I'm doing my thing, but
Catch this riff, girl.
and I always ask myself, I wonder what that person's thinking. Like he just stared at me the whole time.
He loves
in
me.
it's many ways that I had to learn. But the best part of my job is actually entertaining my fans.
Okay.
The best. I would do it for free.
All right.
That's how much I love making music because it's like performing. That's the just to see the reaction to my fans more so.
Okay.
And I come early and I leave late.
Oh, shut it down.
There's a lot of
All right.
artists, they want to just do their thing, get the hell out of there.
Right.
They don't even want to do the meet and greets. I want to meet everybody.
Okay.
I'll sit with them, talk to them if they'll ask me if I got the time. Sure, or what? Let's talk. Take pictures, whatever. But I have no problem taking pictures with nobody.
All right.
So I think interacting with your fans is to me that's what makes you an artist, a real artist.
It does.
Other than that, yeah, that's the best part of my job, performing.
I think you're gonna really reach masses with that type of personality. You already have a very vulnerable song, and then you don't really mind sharing yourself and your energy, like you were saying.
No, I sure don't.
With your fans, you're definitely gonna get a lot back in return for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm trying. In fact, we was all just talking earlier about the recording process. I think today's digital sound to me is overplayed. It's just over. I think we need to go back, and we are. And people always ask me, like, when my music, they ask me, like, your music sounds like it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I said, that's what I want to do. I want to bring music back.
That acoustic
Yes.
sound.
Everything real, because this is, I always say this will determine who you really are as a musician.
Yeah.
Because real musicians can play. Beat makers, they get on laptops and make beats.
Yeah.
That's not to me. That's anybody could do it. A 2-year-old could do that.
Yeah. If they have rhythm, not
exactly.
like that. But yeah,
and,
sort of kind of got rhythm.
And real musicians, we go beyond. We make riffs, keyboard lines, and drum beats. We play the drums. The people who sample them, they're sampling us, playing the drums. You know what I'm saying? Bass guitars and actual real parts and horns and stuff like that. That's what I want to come back to. And I'm bringing that back. Okay. I'm going to do my best to bring real focus-driven music back where people can get something out of it more than like a looped beat that's been on the radio and everybody's taking that and sampling the same beat and making a beat out of it. I'm like, people don't want that no more.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do on the next album
Okay.
is I'm going to do 2-inch reels. I'm going back to
Break
tape.
it down to the people, because we from that tap
Okay.
tap bang bang world.
Yeah. Well, I'm going someplace and I'm gonna do like live tape. I'm going back to 2-inch reels and one take playing, and no looping and none of that. We're gonna play live, and we can go and cut some stuff and replay it and everything, but it's gonna be live. It's gonna be generally live. The next album when you hear 2-inch reels.
So seeing now that, because I'm big on TikTok, I have a vision that I'm going to be TikTok famous myself, so I'm right there with you. But with that being the case, do you feel like that could be a possible platform for you to start doing your own, like, more acoustic sound, so people could start sampling that like they're doing Insecurity
Yeah,
now?
most definitely. In fact, it was brought to me from my record company. TikTok is the newest and the best thing we need to channel in to. So I was like, really? What is TikTok? I really didn't know what it
I
was.
understand.
What is it, like a 2-minute video? Not even that. It's like
Like 30
10
seconds. Let's be
you know?
honest.
I'm
Like 30 seconds is
I
a
kept
good
saying,
video.
how do you
10
get famous
seconds, you
from
good.
that?
Yeah.
What the hell? Trust me, it's gonna work. That's all they tell me. Trust me, it's gonna work. So when they did that video, the insecurity video, I had no idea that like, wow, I get it now. I understand it. So I addressed a lot of issues and
Yeah.
and some formation with playing my guitar. They just had me do the Star Spangled Banner,
Okay.
and that blew up on TikTok. I played a couple of acoustic parts, and that blew up. So I was like, wow, this thing really works. We didn't have this back in the early days. And he know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So now you're seeing that social media is a platform that
Yeah.
can really blow you up or
Yeah.
blow an artist up.
Yeah. It's like a double-edged sword.
Okay.
What I mean by that is, the bigger labels they're not signing nobody no more. You have to have these big numbers to get
Followings
signed.
and things like that.
Followers and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the downside to it. The other side is, people are not as, how do you put it? They're not focused on artists anymore. You have to be doing something really, really stupid or
Like putting yourself out there ignorant or doing something.
in order to get people's attention.
Exactly.
And it's not like it shouldn't be that way, because it's all about music. Yeah, it takes away from it. Like this guy, Bunny. Anybody ever heard of this guy?
Oh, you talking about oh God, Bad
Yeah, Bad
Bunny.
Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
I swear to God, he's got millions and millions of fans, and I have not heard one record, not one record.
Yeah.
He walks
didn't mean
with a
that
bunny. I'm like, what the fuck? Seriously? And there are so many artists out here who deserve it. Like this one artist that I really, really follow. Her name is Nao. Nao.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
On
God.
TikTok?
No, she's just an artist. You
I've
just go
seen
look.
her. I know
She's
Nao.
on TikTok. She's probably on all
like,
social media.
Yeah.
But she's so underrated. It's ridiculous, man. She is one of the greatest artists, and I'm a big fan of hers.
Okay.
And I don't do R&B per se anymore, but if I had to listen to it, it would be her.
It would be her.
Yeah.
So what genre would you put her in? More like the neo soul,
Organic
type?
R&B.
Okay.
Organic.
Organic
She
R&B.
she is straight deep. And it shocked me that she is not as big as Bunny.
Okay.
But
her message
Bunny,
is not, you already know, if her message is for promoting positivity.
Yeah.
And, they're not going to promote that.
I already know that. I knew that.
But we know how it,
It's a shame that the way this game is now. I even asked myself, why am I still doing this? But, I enjoy doing it. Not 2 months into the year earlier, I got nominated and I was inducted to the California Music Hall of Fame.
I seen that. I did see that. I did see that.
And I was like shocked and devastated. And this was during the time when I was feeling like, man, I'm ready to quit.
And you didn't even know it was coming down the pipe. I had no idea.
Yeah. And I went there and I could not believe the amount of of respect they gave me
Okay.
for my
Congratulations.
accomplishments
Yeah.
and being on the same stage with guys I grew up listening to when I was a kid. Like, wow, that's so and so, that's so and so. I'm listening to all these songs. Like, I grew up listening to these songs.
Hmm.
And they like, man, they come and shake my hand.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
That's
That made
amazing.
me feel good.
I
You
know
know?
it did. I
Yeah.
know it did. So connecting with your fans, being recognized out there in California, you
I'm
know,
like, wow, I didn't even expect it or nothing. They just told me, they said, man, you got a surprise for you. And I was like, what is you being inducted? You know, and I
into the Hall
was
of Fame. That's like Hall
shout out to Monica because she really did a great job with promoting that whole situation to make it
of.
happen for
Okay.
me. So, she really believed in me.
Good job, Monica. Gotta say it again. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have a
So,
team of people that are also um, that are involved with my career that help me get around, to get through this situation, even when I don't want to do it most of the times. But
okay.
they keep me motivated, and and I appreciate my team.
So you say you're only as strong as the team around you?
I can't do it without them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means a
I got a
lot.
badass band that I can't wait to get back on stage with.
Yeah.
Phew,
I bet.
man, you guys gonna see something spectacular. We you notice like when you go to no, I don't know. I haven't been to a real concert in a long time. Most of the concerts I go to are rock concerts, and
All
these
right.
guys put on real shows. But as black artists, the real concerts was way back when, like Parliament Funkadelic, and
Mm-hmm.
you saw the fire on the stage, and this was real fire,
Yeah.
not the ones they show on the screen and shit.
Right.
But
You felt
you
the
know,
heat.
yeah, they put a really good show on, and that's what
Excuse
I'm
me.
trying to do. I'm trying to bring back. I don't know if anybody ever seen Earth, Wind and Fire in concert. No, you guys missed
On
something,
YouTube, I mean, we that generation.
man.
I'm
That's why I said you. Yeah, these guys. The reason why they are the number one band now, even till this day, is they put on a show, a real show, a show that you can go home and be like dreaming about it the next day.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, pyramids rising and
Right.
yeah,
You feel it.
fire and all kinds of crazy shit, magical tricks and all that. I want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to just go up and sing and just walk off the stage. I want to give a real show where people can really get into it.
Yeah.
You
Experience
know,
that James Brown experience.
it's a real good experience.
Experience.
Yeah, and that's that's
Yeah.
that's my goal. I want people to have a real
We
good
want the
show.
Lemoyne experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. Gotta have
Even
that.
even with Jimi Hendrix, man, people, if you saw him in concert, that was a blessing.
Okay.
That dude was unreal. Yeah,
And you seen them in concert, I'm
I never
assuming.
seen him.
You
No,
never
I
seen them?
wish that was
Okay.
like you on YouTube.
Yeah, there we go. I mean,
No, I didn't see
okay.
the groups that I go see down, bands that I go see are all rock, and I study them. I go just so I can study.
So what's your favorite? Like, okay, because I remember you saying you were getting out of rap and then you went into this genre. So who were some of your favorite people to study swinging
Oh
over?
man, we're talking Sting,
Okay.
the Police, Genesis, a lot of bands, and then the newer bands like Chevelle,
Okay.
Breaking Benjamin, Godsmack, um, Five Finger Death Punch.
Okay.
Uh,
We learning something, y'all. 67 Social, learning something. Thank you.
yeah,
I mean, look, we
these
learning.
yeah, these are tremendous bands that they give you a real good show.
Okay.
When you go to one of those shows, Skillet is one of those bands give you a great show.
So Skillet would be, you could say, compared to the Earth, Wind, and Fire, but in that
Yes,
genre
yes,
because of the show they put on.
yes. They will give you a show, a real show.
Okay.
That's why I really respect rock because they're a genre where it's real and they want to give you a performance as opposed to, five guys dancing and you got a track behind them or either, and everybody is what's that?
Yeah.
What do we
Okay.
get out of that?
Okay, I can see what you're saying.
Man, I want to be able to see some fire come up the stage, a guitar solo, and somebody bending backwards or jumping up and down, and even getting joining in with the crowd. Jump off the stage, get on,
That mosh
with
pit kind of
mosh
stuff. You
pit,
want to
the
get in
whole nine.
there?
I mean, I was in a mosh pit. I loved it. I was
Okay.
like, wow. I jumped. I made sure I was in there. I was like, man, I want to get a experience of everything with rock, and that's what made me enjoy doing rock.
So what has been some of the kickback, I would say, that you've gotten from our community?
The support wasn't always there in the beginning, because my choices was I wanted to be into rock, and my peers was more so like disappointing more than my fans. Once my fans understood, because I didn't have fans
Okay.
until I started doing rock.
So the rap wasn't your fan base?
No, I was behind the scenes.
Yeah, you did
Nobody
say
didn't
that.
really
That's
know
course, right.
who
You
I
produced
was,
it,
because
right.
I'm making beats and producing records for everybody. You read the credits, that's when you knew who it was. But when my first real fans came from rock,
Okay.
and they would research me and find out I did do R&B, like, whoa, what the hell made you come to this
Our
type of
neighborhood.
music?
Come over here.
Yeah, and the guy sounds good. It's like
Yeah.
all my fans,
It does.
they can't believe that it's me and singing those songs. They have to look at me twice every time. So like, and I love that. I love that reaction. I give a good reaction back to them. Like, yeah, it's me.
Good.
And I enjoy doing it.
Yeah. You ever listen to, you like Hootie and the Blowfish?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite earlier bands too.
Okay.
I liked the fact that it was one black guy and he was singing,
Right.
and the rest of them was white. So I was like, all right. Yeah, I said I can do that. I can do that. I can be different like that.
Right.
My stuff was more harder. He was in the country and the kind of pop rock, but my stuff was more harder at that time. And then I just started. I was like at the point where I'm getting tired of jumping up and down and coming on my knees, falling on my knees with a guitar in my hand. I gotta start doing more, bring my rock down, son.
He said, bring my rock down. He was a little hype. He was a little hype.
Yeah, I was into punk for a while.
Okay.
And
you had that big energy for that.
man, and I was like the second album was State of Grace, and the third album had some punk songs on there. I was like, dude, I can't, man. I'm ruining my knees doing this. So, I watered down the rock a little bit.
Okay.
This time, but I do got a couple of songs on this album that is kind of like a little bit more harder, but they got melodies, great melodies that you can actually sing to. All my songs have great melodies.
Okay. All right. So you already gave me like some of your favorite rock bands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But what were you listening to in your mother's house?
When I was younger?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God. I was listening to Kool and the Gang, Barcades, Ohio's, Brick. Let me see. Anybody that was a full 9-piece band, I was into it.
Okay.
Mass production, all that stuff.
Okay.
Even Isley Brothers. I was Isley, especially the Jacksons. So
Yeah.
I was a huge Jackson fan. So yeah, that's what I grew up listening to. No. Okay. Literally, and this is a true story. When we were kids, I lived with my dad. Me and my brother lived with my dad, and and I still remember this to this day. We shared the same room at one time, and he bought us separate radios.
But in the same room.
In the same room. So he'd be on his side listening to R&B and funk, and I'll be over here listening to Thin Lizzy. Play that funky music, white boy. And I'm listening to rock, and he turned his up, I turned mine up, and we just battling. I'm like, oh my God, man, I can't wait to get my own room. So I finally get my own room, and everything in my room. I got rock posters all the way around.
Okay.
Everything rock. Go in my brother's room, everything funk. I mean, everything. He loves funk. Until this day, that's his thing, funk music.
Okay.
You know? But me, it
Your
was
brother
all,
that's in the band with you?
no, not no
Another
more.
brother? Okay.
But he started off State of Grace with me.
Okay.
But he was until this day, he is to me, and I honor the fact that he's one of the greatest drummers in this world to me.
Okay.
You know?
Shout out.
And,
Shout out, bruh.
yeah, he's one of the greatest. And he learned, just like I learned, we learned to play instruments at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
He was studying. His thing was he focused primarily on drums.
Okay.
Me, I focused on everything. But and when you focus on one instrument and you craft it, you're gonna be the best at it.
Yeah.
And that's what he was. He was the best at it. But it was just two different genres in our household. And it was a fight all the time.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
And then one day, I discovered Rush and all these other bands. When we were a family band and a funk band, when they go, then I'm going to listen to rock.
Okay.
And I'm learning everything. Anything that I could pick up, I'm imitating all of these riffs and guitar parts. And they be hearing me down there playing in the basement, and I'll be like, why is he playing all that white rock stuff? And I'll be like, man, I'm gonna be the best at this one day. Okay. And I'm here today.
27 instruments later.
Yeah.
2.3 TikTok followers later,
Yeah, till this day. I had no idea that I would even be still doing this type of music, but I'm blessed. I feel good. I'm healthy, and I'm having fun doing it. I'll have no problems. I can go in the studio by myself and make a whole album. So
okay,
yeah,
okay. So outside of that, I know you said music is your passion. What outside of music? What is another passion of yours? Before we wrap it up,
I like movies.
Okay.
I like writing.
You said horror movies, right? You said
I like writing.
Okay.
When I was a kid, reading and writing in my classroom was like, I got A's. I got F's in everything.
Okay.
But reading and writing.
Wow.
And my teachers was like, this guy can. I used to love to tell stories in the classroom. I don't know why, but it was just a thrill and I make them up. And people are like, what the hell? They're looking at me like I'm crazy.
He freestyling in elementary.
7-year-old kid making up all of these stories. And I enjoyed it. And, and I was like, I didn't know what I was actually doing. But as I got older and older, I was like, oh, so that's how they make movies. They write the story and the whole thing. I could do that. And I did it. And I had an opportunity to write a book.
Okay.
And then it went from that to actually developing scripts. And my brother, I was doing it way before my brother went to college for it. Then he went to college for it. And then he became an actor. He started playing in a lot of movies.
Okay.
Like he was in the first Bad Boys with Sean Penn.
Yeah.
The
original before.
The original.
Yeah.
The 2 black guys, or actually 3 black guys in the prison. And my brother was one of the guys of the 3 in there. You see him. He's very prominent in the movie. And he went from there to do a lot of other movies. But, I was proud of him. The same guy, the drummer.
Yeah.
He ended up becoming an actor. And me, I was still focused on music. But then as I said, sometimes I get these droughts and I don't want to do music no more. And so I just started writing. And one thing led to another. And I'm like, man, I want to be a writer. And then I started writing. And one day I actually decided I wanted to make a movie, and I did a movie, and a second one, and a third one, and I've been making them ever since. So I've been fortunate and blessed to be able to make movies for you guys to watch.
Yeah.
So,
So hopefully for 2025, I'm big on manifesting things. I told you about this earlier.
Yeah.
You gonna hear your song on the radio before you leave. Insecurities is gonna play on the radio in Chicago before this young man gets out of here.
Yeah, because every time I'm in the car, everybody hear it but me. I don't get a chance to hear it. I've never heard it on the radio here, but they say it's being played, so I'm cool with it as long as people are playing it. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah, we got good merch. You want to tell us more about the merch? It says in the hood, we trust Wicked Entertainment.
Yes, this is Wicked Entertainment. This is
you see the Chicago?
this is a prominent record label here in Chicago, and I happen to be a part of this association.
Okay.
And we're doing good things and big things now. I'm very, very happy with this.
Trust none. Actually, I actually really, really like this. I don't know if you all can see that, but this inside
Trust none.
art is amazing. Zoom in on that.
Yeah, you got to see the art
social. Y'all have to see this.
on the bill. It's all on the
down.
bill. I mean, it's some really detailed art here.
So you're saying this is all the gangs united with no negativity. It's all positivity.
Yeah. Yep.
All the see, look, can't leave good merch around people. It's gonna be gone,
Yeah. Really beautiful.
What do you say? Trust none. I wanted this hat too. No.
Trust none.
Yeah.
And these are
keychains
with my logo on them. Yeah.
Come on, we gotta say it right now. It's the French in us, y'all know me as Miss Ming, but it is the French in us.
Yeah, Lemoyne.
Alexander.
Yeah, Lemoyne. My daddy's name, my son's name, and my grandfather's name.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a nice name to carry on over. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you. I hated it at first.
Shouldn't have, but it'd be like that. But again, I want to say thank you so much for coming to bless the 67 Social Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Blessing us with all this good knowledge and your energy.
Thank you.
You gotta bring the riff runner with you next time. I think I kind of requested it, but it's okay. You don't gotta bring the amp, but
I will next time when I come back. I'm gonna be doing a lot of shows here, so
okay. So we can expect to see you in the city again.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm always performing in Chicago all the time, festivals, wherever the fans want me to perform, I'll do it. Okay. And next time, whenever I'm performing, I'll stop by here and play.
Oh, you definitely, please bless us with that.
No problem.
We need that. We appreciate that.
Say no more.
It's
done deal.
And then you gonna still make sure you DM me when you hear your song on the radio before you leave again, right?
I sure will. I'll thank you.
Yes, Miss Ming might have done that for him. Sleepy, you doing it for real, but
Yeah, I have no problems with that. That's gonna be fun to me.
Yeah.
I had fun, guys. This was nice.
Thank you. We enjoyed you. So we're gonna wrap up. It's me, your girl, Miss Ming. We'll be back in tune with your girls and you guys again later.
All right.